How's it going, guys? Today I'm going to be featuring the Celtec, the Tier 7 Premium British Heavy Cruiser. Now at first glance, this ship looks like a Baltimore, and it pretty much is. The playstyle that you want to go for is exactly the same that you would in the Baltimore or Azure Lane Baltimore, and basically that's going to be pushing up to objectives and then using your radar to find destroyers, and ultimately being a nuisance and a area denial cruiser. Now, there are a few differences between the Baltimore and the Celtec that I think make the Celtec a fairly interesting ship. Now, the first thing you're going to notice if you do pick the Celtec up is that the HP pool is extremely low for a heavy cruiser. I think it sits somewhere around 36,700. I could be wrong, I don't exactly remember. And that's mainly because I've actually been using Sims as an inspiration. I think having Sims as an inspiration on the Celtec, I can play the ship a lot more aggressively and a lot closer to how I would play a Baltimore or a Wichita by pushing into objectives and being really close. Having 36,000 hit points, especially when you're able to bounce 380mm guns, even if they try to shoot your superstructure and they hit it, you're going to notice the damage a lot more compared to if you were simply in a Baltimore when you would have 42,400 hit points. Now, to offset this lower HP pool, the Celtec does have a super heal, which I do find to be extremely useful, especially when pushing into objectives as aggressively as I do. And honestly, I've gotten so many dreadnoughts with this super heal because, again, I play this extremely aggressively, and if you can play intelligently, you'll be able to go through all three heals, and ultimately you'll be able to sustain long enough that you'll have a very large battle impact. Now, something else that you'll notice about the Celtec is that it does have a 10km radar, although the duration is only 25 seconds. This radar is a longer range than the Baltimore, although it is 5 seconds shorter. I do think having this 10km radar is really useful because now I can just use Gunichi Mikawa as an inspiration, and all I really need is that one inspiration when I'm using one of the basic cruiser commanders instead of needing to fully build into stealth in order to get a stealth radar. Now, I do have I believe it's a 10.2km detection, and with a 10km radar, there's not a whole lot of wiggle room for a destroyer to sail around spotting you without being spotted back by your own radar. So ultimately, we can still have a very effective radar, even though we're not fully building into stealth and ultimately getting our detection below our radar range. The main thing is that the radar is long enough of a range that you don't have to use so many inspirations and skills to build into concealment to make sure your radar is useful, which is always very nice. And the last thing that you're going to notice about the Celtec is that the gun performance is very good. It does have a lower fire chance than the Baltimore, although the ship does still have improved penetration angles, although the alpha damage for the AP shells is less than that of the Baltimore. I think it's a lot closer to the Des Moines. I'm not actually sure on the gun performance and what ship it's closest to, but I have been able to sit out a lot of battleships with this thing, although we are at a relatively close range, but there is enough penetration to do so. And the last thing about this main battery is that it actually reloads extremely quickly. It's closer to the Albemarle and Wichita reload. When you have the reload mod in the 4th slot, you have a 9-second reload, and to put that into comparison, the Baltimore with just the reload mod in the 4th slot has a 10.6-second reload, and then the Azure Lane Baltimore has a 9.8. So the ship does have a much faster fire rate, and it also has similar gun performance where you can absolutely smash battleships and cruisers broadsides with AP. Anyway, I had a pretty good game in the Celtec, and I hope you guys enjoy the rest of this one. There was a lot of destroyers and cruisers for us to absolutely wreck, and I do hope you guys enjoy the rest of it. So I'm just going to leave you guys here, and if you enjoyed the video, do leave a like and subscribe for more, and share it with your friends, or leave a comment down below on other ships you want to see in the future. But until next time, aloha.
Enemy destroyer blown up. Tank their battleship.
Fire! Problem solved, sir.
Our team has taken the lead.
Fire! Torpedoes dead ahead.
Enemy destroyer blown up.
Torpedoes direct from... Fire! Problem solved, sir. Fire!
Enemy destroyer blown up. Enemy cruiser sunk.